Hello again, and welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. I am Tom, and before we get started, let's get some background music going, some radio. We'll just shuffle again and play. I may need to adjust my own volume here, but we should be good beyond that. When we left off, so this is episode 1, we did an episode 0 where we did some mod setup. When we left off, we'd just completed the first job of the game, a very short job from Carlisle to Carlisle in our case. So we're going to be picking up from Carlisle, where we are, and choosing a job from the job market over here. I mentioned wanting to try a job that went to Dublin. It's on the next page now because I've started sorting by price per distance, so it's not the best price per mile we're going to get, and also it requires a €700 ferry journey. I did say we wanted to check out Ireland, so I think we may do that. That's 301 miles. This is only 264 and pays a lot more. Doesn't involve a ferry either. Yeah, I think we'll do that instead. We'll go up to Oban in Scotland. This up here will be scenery that's added by pro mods as well, so we'll get to see that. We'll maybe go to Ireland another time. It'd be good to be able to see ferry connections. I think the only ferry connections into Ireland are... yeah, most of them are from England. There's this one from Wales and this one from Wales. There's one from up in Scotland. But we'll take that job for now. Take the... will we? I'm second guessing myself. Yeah, it's going to be the best paying job. It takes us a fair distance, so we'll get some decent XP from it. Carlisle to Oban, and we're automatically set up with the trailer because we don't yet have our own truck. So,
Time to get the job done.
off we go. As you can hear, I've set up the sat-nav audio, so we will have some voice stuff. The main thing we're going to be hearing is going to be please mind your speed. On the wrong side of the road. I keep thinking I'm in mainland Europe. I'm not. Still in the UK just yet.
Caution. Please watch the speed limit.
That's what we're going to get a lot of. I will probably turn that
Get
off.
ready to turn left. Turn left.
But we'll just stop at the road here and configure those settings so that we aren't getting the annoying speed limit warnings. Speed warning, none. Okay, so I'll just have to be mindful of my speed now. Looking in the... oh, there's another thing I want to do actually. I want to toggle route advisor modes on F3. Yeah, I like it in this sort of form, with the sort of semi-transparent thing going on. Perfect. Looks like we've got no traffic coming. In this lane anyway. Brilliant. Off we go. So now we can speed as much as we want and we won't get those annoying verbal warnings.
Go straight on.
Carlisle is that way. Can't really see it from here. There's a big feature missing from the skyline, I think, in Carlisle that would just
Get ready to turn right.
improve it immensely for very little effort actually. In the last episode I mentioned how there was a good approximation of Carlisle Cathedral on the horizon. It wasn't bad. But there's other features missing, like Carlisle has a large castle, and it's got another large feature called, or we just call it Dixon's Chimney. It's a very large industrial chimney that I think is one of the first things you see as you're approaching Carlisle, and that's not in Euro Truck Simulator 2. But it'd be a really simple thing, I think, to add. And if I were any good at modelling or modding, I would maybe do that myself. But alas, I'm not. We didn't even look at what we were hauling. All I know is I was going to Scotland. I did take a look at what the two jobs to Dublin were, from Carlisle to Dublin. One was carrying hay bales all the way from Carlisle down England and then onto a ferry across to Dublin. And the other was carrying barley. And I'm just thinking, is that realistic at all? Would you expect to carry hay bales from England?
Go straight on.
Oops. Okay. Would you expect to carry hay bales from Carlisle to Dublin when presumably Ireland has got enough grass of its own? We won't question it too much. Okay. Other settings I've tweaked since the last video. I've turned on the, I think it was the automatic retarder, so that's now on, which I believe makes braking a little different. I didn't hear what I expected to when I braked just now, but I'm very used to using my own truck, and this is a borrowed truck. Is that? No, that's just a Mini. I considered adding some more mods as well to change up the realism a bit more. Like there are additional weather realism mods, but my fear is that they would conflict with Grimes' season packs. So I don't know about those. I know a lot of people recommend a certain realistic sounds pack. I haven't looked into that myself yet, but we might give that a look-see. Now entering Scotland. And I think as we drive through Scotland, I'm going to start noticing a lot of the differences that ProMods makes to the game. I don't know if we're still at the moment on the base roads provided by Euro Truck Simulator 2, or if we're yet on some ProMods assets. It just blends together so well. At the moment we're going north, up through Scotland, towards Iceland. We might go check that out while we're in the region, but we really want to push south through Europe at some point, because we've got a bunch of content, like the Maghreb region, and Rusmat, and the Middle East. We've got so much to check out. It'll be a while before we get to it, I think, but we will eventually. Two competing garages either side of the road there, that's pretty realistic. So this is a relatively short journey. And I think we'll get a decent amount of XP from this and probably get our first level up. We'll then start pushing up long distance, because that will enable us to journey further and into mainland Europe from the north. Eventually I'd like to do something like a live stream or something, where I take the longest job possible and say drive down from Iceland all the way to I don't know, whatever makes for the longest journey, possibly into Africa, possibly into Russia. But I don't know. I don't even know if the game gives you jobs over that length. For the time being, for shorter videos like this, I'm looking at these shorter jobs and thinking, we can do that in one video. But before very long, we'll start taking longer jobs, and I will have to split the videos, I think. Not because I don't like producing a longer video, but because I don't have the I can't sit in a chair for a few hours in one sitting, you know what I mean? So just try and keep the videos nice and breezy. The previous one it came out around half an hour, I think, and most of that was mod setup. The actual journey, Carlisle to Carlisle, was basically just around the corner. Still on the lookout for scenery changes that makes me aware that I'm in a ProMods region rather than a base game one. But as I say, they are seamlessly connected. Should mention I've also been watching someone else play Euro Truck Simulator 2. They go by Squirrel on YouTube. Got a great set of videos, and well, it doesn't seem to have done any Euro Truck Simulator 2 videos in a while, so I'm watching a very old series of his. How are we for fuel? We're good for fuel. And we won't need to sleep during this journey at all. I think while you're taking the quick jobs, the sleep isn't really a factor that you need to, unless you take longer jobs. But I think if you're on short jobs like this, on quick jobs, then you sort of sleep between the jobs, so the fatigue simulation resets. I've been told to keep right. I mean, I'm good here, although we are gaining on that truck in front, so maybe I will change lanes. We're no longer, well, we're no longer gaining on them, but they've switched lanes anyway, so we'll just shift back across. They better be turning off towards Edinburgh.
Keep right.
Keep right. These voice sat-nav things are absolutely crucial to me because I don't pay close enough attention to that sat-nav in the corner there. I like to have it.
Left, and then exit left.
I like to have it, but I don't pay close enough attention to it, or as close attention as I should.
Exit left.
I think this is starting to look like a Pro Mods area now. You can sort of see where the roads change. Oh, I came out of that way too fast. Got lucky there was no other traffic there. I've cranked up the rain probability.
Get ready to turn right.
Since the previous video as well. Just because I think a higher chance of rain is more realistic.
Turn right.
No vehicles coming. I should have really checked around this corner to see if I was going to hit nobody as I came around there. Didn't give it a wide enough angle. I'm trying to tell out of the mirrors here, what is it that I'm hauling? I can't get a good look at it. This is definitely feeling like a Pro Mods area now. There's just something, I think, a little different about the roads in the Pro Mods areas. Well, I don't know why. I think perhaps they use their own assets, and in the base game areas, ooh. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted by this body of water over here. Is it a body of water? Oh, I'm looking at I'm looking at like a... I was looking at the embankment on the other side. I was really confused by it. I thought there was like a graphical error there or something, but no. No, it was just a man-made embankment, right? A man-made wall separating the water from the town on the hillside there. At this point in the game, because we're using borrowed trucks, we don't need to worry too much about damage. All damage will be covered by the employer, and so long as we don't ding the truck too badly, then we'll still get a good rating at the end and plenty of XP and a full payout. So I'm not worried about that 1% damage that was just done. But I do need to stop getting distracted by things off the side of the road like that. And maybe mind my speed a bit when I'm coming up to corners like this. The controls on the controller are also a little bit twitchy. You can probably see I'm moving the steering wheel with little adjustments.
Go straight on.
We'll have to live with that for the time being. I just don't have the space to set up a wheel or anything like that. I was talking about Squirrel. He takes his trucking games very seriously. I don't know what his background is, but he plays a lot of simulation games, and he takes them all very, very seriously. He's got a wheel, and he's also doing, you know, manual gears and everything. I don't know that I could do that. I'm gonna be caught behind this truck for a little while, it looks like. Good opportunity to look at that scenery. This, certainly added by Pro Mods, it looks absolutely amazing. Only 50 miles to go. If we could find the opportunity to overtake, that'd be great. Although we are coming up to a junction where hopefully the truck in front and I will part ways. They don't appear to be indicating.
Turn left.
Excellent. Ooh, a little bit too wide around there. Not far to go at all now. This is a very quick job. Our aim initially is to work up a few levels so that we can start getting higher paying jobs, but also earn enough money to buy our first truck, and then we'll be able to pick even more jobs from the freight market. We'll also, before long, want to hire a couple of drivers. This may be a good opportunity to talk about the... I mentioned in the last episode that I've installed a mod called Real Fuel Prices, which updates weekly to match the fuel prices in-game to like real-world values, right? So wherever you are in Europe, say we're in the UK at the moment, it'll try to match that to UK fuel prices. And it does this all across Europe, and it's compatible with Pro Mods, and I think Pro Mods Middle East and other maps as well, so the values are updated all across the map. Another mod I did look at was a mod called Economy Overhaul, which looks incredible. It does an incredible amount of things. Like, one thing it does is it updates monthly to do the same thing. It updates the fuel prices every month rather than every week. But it also completely adjusts the rest of the in-game economy as well. It decreases the value that you'd get paid per mile and
Go straight on.
per job to make it more realistic. It adjusts the base salary for drivers and all manner of things like that. It changes how loans work slightly as well. The reason that I ultimately didn't go for that is, well, there's sort of two reasons, but I'll get to the second one in a moment, because the second one is my main one, but we'll mention first that it just wouldn't be as fun. It would be a more accurate simulation, but it wouldn't be as fun. We wouldn't be earning money as quickly, we wouldn't be able to get our own truck as quickly. So there's that. The
Keep left and then turn left.
game would sort of slow down. But the other reason, and the main reason, is I don't think it's compatible with Pro Mods, because another thing that it adjusts
Turn
is
left.
ferry prices and you know, the prices for the Eurotunnel and crossings like that.
Turn right.
Pro Mods adds a bunch. For example, when we head north through Scotland and go to Iceland, there's a brand new ferry crossing up there that's not touched on by the mod. So the price of those ferries is incredibly
Get
high,
ready to turn left.
and
Turn left and then turn left.
with the other changes to the game economy, just doesn't work. You can't get to Iceland because you can't get a job. Ooh, hang on. I'm talking too much and I've got distracted. You can't afford a ferry to Iceland because the job will pay too little to even cover the ferry. So that's ultimately why I decided not to go with the economy overhaul mod and have gone for something simpler instead. So here we are. Before we complete this job, I do want to check what we have been hauling this entire time. I'll just stop right there. There's a line. Our line is... that's going to be a bit tricky because we're coming in between two other trucks there, but we've been carrying tractors. I still have 6 hours to complete this, so we can spend 6 hours reversing here, that's totally fine. Shouldn't need that. Does it look like I'm overshooting? No, that looks good. This might be the best parking job I've ever done. Really just need to reverse at this point. Maybe adjust it the other way slightly. Tell me you'll accept this. Yes, perfect. Probably much too close to that other trailer there, but the game's accepting that. That's totally fine. So 264 miles covered. Took us 5 hours 21 minutes in game time, obviously. Fuel consumed 138.9 litres. We get a base reward of 8,681 euros and 425 XP, plus 40 XP for the trailer maneuvering bonus there. It was a nice easy one. And that gets us our first level, which I was going to say, I'd say we put into long distance, because this will start opening up longer jobs. This is what Squirrel did as well. He did long distance and then started, I think, adding things into these in a sort of balanced fashion. I've heard, though, it's better to pick a focus, because the rewards they sort of stack and get better and better. So if we open up deliveries up to 466 miles, we get 5% higher reward for delivery distances longer than 310 miles, plus 25% experience bonus for deliveries over that distance as well. And then, as we go up, we unlock longer distances, and 10% higher reward for delivery distances longer than 466 miles. So it goes 25, 10% higher, 15%, 20%, 25%, 30%. So by the time we get down here and are doing really long jobs, we're getting a much, much bigger reward, which is why it's best to focus on one. So we probably will do that, focus on long distance, and we'll just split the jobs up into parts. What else do I have to say about this? Nothing. So that's our first job, and we can check our email here, where apparently we have the opportunity to take some bank loans. We'll take a look at that, see what we can get. We can get 100,000 and repay it 2,888 per day. That's easy to make, provided the jobs we aren't taking aren't too long. You know, if a job takes several days to do, then you're paying your loan installments, you know, day after day. But you're still waiting to get paid from that job. That's not a worry for us yet. We just need to take into account how much money we actually have. I have 11,042. I also haven't found any dealers yet, so I can't actually purchase a truck just yet. I should have been more conscious of that. Really, I should have thought, okay, as we're driving up, I should really hit up some dealers, some truck dealers and whatnot. Let's take a look at the job market anyway and see what we want to do for our next job. So where did we drive to? We drove to Oban, so I'm thinking we pick a job from here, because even though we're still registered as being in Carlisle at the moment, we'll try to take it seriously as though we've driven from Carlisle to Oban and now we need to pick another job here. Otherwise we need to catch the train home or, you know, something like that. So we've got one that takes us into Iceland. As I was saying, the ferry price is a lot. So that that cuts off a lot of what we'd be paid. This is more like a 5,000. Well, in fact, it's more like a 4,000 euro job. This one doesn't involve a ferry, so we get that full 5,000. So that's better. That's probably going to be the best value for money we have. Hauling flour from Oban to Ullapool. We could take plums to Wick. Or this one also involves 2 ferries. It's going to cut into the price we'll take. So I think we'll take this one. Or this one? Apparently this is the best price per mile, so... But it does expire in 14 minutes, so I don't... Oh no, that's totally fine. What is the mileage? 220 versus 242, so it's not much of a difference. We'll take this one just because we get a higher payout. I think this is going to be better for us here. So that's going to be in the next video that I put up. We'll be hauling plums from Oban to Wick. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and ta-ra!